Hey guys, welcome once again to this morning's press conference with Houston Dynamo head coach Olsen ahead of tomorrow night's match against Pachuca at Shell Energy Stadium. Coach, thanks for taking some time. We'll jump straight into questions from Zoom, but just initially for me, if you wouldn't mind, just give us your thoughts on the team going into this third match of Leagues Cup and what you have seen on tape from Pachuca.
Well, for us, this match is a opportunity to correct course a little bit and try to get a win at home. And on the other side of that, it's an opportunity for us to continue to look at ourselves and look at a few different things, because the reality is we're not moving on in the tournament. And when you look at priorities of the game after this one, and this one, they're not the same. And so that's the balance we're taking. But we start with winning home games and trying to go after this with a group that's prepared and ready to work their tails off to get a result. Pachuca is a very organized team, tough to break down. They've been, solid in transition, and so that's an area we've against these Mexican teams. There's some transition moments in the way that they do things, and with the extra numbers and some of the direct play that we faced, it's a good exercise for us to continue to try to deal with some of these great attackers that these teams offer.
I appreciate that. We'll go ahead and jump into questions on Zoom. Guys, if you have questions, please click the raise your hand button. We'll get started with a question from Jair Palacio. Jair, your line should be open. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Coach. Good morning. Before a game, you usually...
Ooh.
Jair, you muted yourself there.
That's a great one to answer without the rest of the question. Before a game, do you usually?
I think he hit the mute button as he was talking.
I don't know what he's going to say.
All right, while we're waiting on him, Coach, you talked about obviously where you guys are in the standings, the reality of the tournament. How does that impact your, without giving away any details, how does that impact your decision on squad selection for tomorrow?
It influences it in a great deal. This is the reality of this tournament. I think you'll see that in some of these games, and it's 3 quick games, and the format itself it's tough to advance. So I think there's probably a lot of teams that are figuring out how to continue to compete and try to win a game, because this is what we do. We want to win games, and certainly teams that are not in the greatest of form as far as results, you want to, again, correct course and build momentum is a little bit more the term I've been using with our group. Build momentum towards the rest of this season. We have 10 games left. We've had a lot of moving parts and a lot of injuries throughout this year, so now we wanted to use this Leagues Cup as a time to really solidify kind of our group, who it is, what our best 11 is, see some different partnerships, maybe tweak a few things, and make sure everybody's getting minutes and ready for this stretch that has been a priority from the get-go for the Houston Dynamo. That's what we've said. We want to be in the postseason year after year. We want to be a sustainable playoff team. And right now that's the goal, and that was the goal from the beginning of this year. So it's a balance, and you try to figure that out. But ultimately that doesn't ever really detract, or it shouldn't detract, from us going out, competing, and trying to win this game.
Thanks. I see a question coming in from Victor Ariza. Victor, your line should be open. Go ahead.
Coach, Victor Ariza for LeaguesCup.com. Bit of a reunion here with Jimmy Lozano after he came to your club a couple months back for a visit. Just wondering if that makes this a special encounter on a personal level.
Not really necessarily, Victor. I didn't know Jimmy very well before he came here. I know him better now, and certainly have a lot more respect for him. And usually that's the case whenever someone comes for a few days and hangs out. And I think we we certainly welcomed him and his group. I think it was nice for them to see our environment and for us to pick their brains. Very rarely, coaches tend to silo, and it can be a little lonely. And so when you're out of it and you're bouncing around the clubs, and I give him a lot of credit for looking at different environments and just continued growth, because we always need that. And it's great to see him back in the mix. He's my time with him, a wonderful guy and a really sharp coach. So, looking forward to seeing him and competing against him.
Victor, any additional questions on
You
you?
guys are trying to reinforce also for this summer. Has this competition allowed you guys an opportunity to maybe get looks at some players that you might or might not have been interested?
From the other teams or within our own team, Victor?
From the Liga MX side.
Oh, our eyes are always open. This is what we do. We live in the business of scouting other players, but also scouting other players from a coaching standpoint on just preparing for the team. So as you prepare for these teams, you say, hey, this guy's special, or he would fit really well into our structure and what we do. And some of it's dreaming, right? And some of it, of course, is reality. And certainly Asher and Pat are watching the games. So that's always the case in soccer, whether we're playing a team from Malmo in preseason or even a USL team in the Open Cup. Our eyes are always open to making this team better.
I think there's no names you'd like to share.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Last one for me on this game. Anybody maybe from the youth ranks that have played in some of these games that has impressed you?
On our end. Well, we haven't had many, right? I mean, obviously Pedro, we could speak about his performance. I thought it was good. But he's still young, and there's some things in there that we see that we look forward to. Tim Hanley in particular, our goalkeeper coach, look forward to working with, because he has these other things that you can't teach. He's got great instincts. He's got great feet. He's got a nice bravado about him. And, he's certainly a guy that we're excited about for the future. I've talked about Brooklyn continuing to be a real piece for this team and grow before our eyes, which is really nice to see. We got the D2 kid, Felipe, whether you consider him that or not. Certainly a guy that was brought there and now moving up. Who else? Lawrence is still young and getting back into it. So it's all just reps and minutes and building relationships. And this is just another chance, Victor, for us to, again, grow and see some things out there that we may not have the luxury to see next week against Austin. But trust me, I won't be saying this anymore. This will be my last figuring out this team type stuff that you'll have to hear me say over the last couple months. I've seen it enough after this game and the next 10 games. I think we're going to have a clearer picture of who we are. I got a lot of faith in this group and optimism that we can put some results together and make this really interesting down the stretch.